What's up, guys? Here with another video, and in this video I just try to make it as fast as possible because obviously I don't want to talk a lot, and also I don't like making long videos, and obviously the longer I talk, more video, the less people are interested and less likes it is. And also not to waste too much time, so I'll make a really fast video, try to make a really fast video of like how did I waste like 1 year of my life, right? And when did this happen? So obviously it gotta be recent because we're dealing with tough time and stuff. I'm saying that right until we walk into a new decade, like everything has changed, obviously because of pandemic and stuff. But I think there's like two big reasons of like why did I just squander like 1 year for just nothing, or just toss away just like 1 year into the garbage. And hopefully this is a good learning experience and I just learn. I I just really wish there's a time machine, but that's not gonna happen. I mean, time machine or just reverse stuff, just to gain back that lost time. But time is time, man. Like once it's passed, you just cannot gain it back, and this is a very big regret. And even if kids are watching this, but hopefully that doesn't happen in the future, right? I mean, losing like 1 year, is pretty much maybe a big deal, maybe not a big deal at all, because 1 year, compared to your lifetime is absolutely nothing. I mean, a person can live up to 100 years, so it's technically only like 1%. So, okay, why did I wasted 1 year of my life? I think there's two reasons and two faults. Obviously, it's 2020's fault, and it's obviously because of it's my fault, right? You know. So let's get into the 2020 stuff, right? Obviously, because global pandemic, like when the virus spread and stuff, like everybody has social distance, everything is limited, and everything is just slowing down. Everything's slowing down, and everything's getting delayed. Some get delayed like few weeks, few months. Some even get delayed like years. Because of this very dangerous virus that just never stop spreading and never stop killing people, right? But we have to be safe about it. And also I want to talk about like ever since 2020's here, I told you that I just been going really crazy, but I didn't talk this about this on YouTube. Maybe I did show you some of my bad attitude. I remember that I ranted about my behavior, last year and stuff. Well, I think it's important to watch this video. Like, this is one of your questions in life, like, why do I absolutely suck, right? Remember I made that video in 2021? Now here's the reason, right? A person who sucks, they just waste a lot of time, in their life. I mean, that's just perspectively what I say, or in my opinion too, but it could be wrong, could be correct, but I'm guaranteed it's probably correct if a person liked this video, right? So what did I mostly... So explain to me, like, why did 2020 waste your life? Well, if COVID... I mean, if the virus never exists, I don't want to say if the virus never exists and, stuff, then things were at normal, I heard that a lot of people get sick, a lot, of course, die and stuff, and a lot of people get laid off, I remember that I, I remember in 2020, I worked for, an internship, even before I graduated college. But obviously, I get laid off, like a month and a half early because of, the virus thing. And once I graduated from college, I did not get hired, until, late of 2021. So, what's the biggest difference between pandemic and no pandemic? So let's just reverse the time and take out the pandemic. So if you just take out the 2020 disaster or the global pandemic, then obviously I would have got a job or already, right? Few months, even after I graduate. It should not be near 2022. And obviously the job I work for is Amazon, and they pay much lower than, you know, my even my internship, right? Yeah, and obviously, you know, the company that I work for happened not to be good. They just promised to hire me and they did not. So yeah, it's the company's fault, and it's also, you know, we're in a still very bad situation. I don't think this virus will ever go away. So yeah, just imagine, you know, you use the company, then, you know, you get laid off, and then right after you graduate, you know, school, then you thought you can just get a job right away, right? If I would have knew my circumstance, you know, if I would have knew that I'm not gonna get a job, you know, for the company I work for, you know, for an internship, I should have just looked for another job. But I feel like if I try to get a job in 2020, like it's pretty much impossible, right? Or even early 2021, because a lot of jobs are unavailable because of, you know, pandemic. I heard that the biggest unemployment went down, you know, around like late 2020, mid 2020, and even as early as 2021 is obviously because of, you know, yeah, lots of people lost their job because of, you know, pandemic and stuff, right? And when a lot more jobs, you know, are available, or people were let go, then you try to look for a job and it's pretty much possible. But now it's, you know, it's much easier. Now you can look for a job, you know, a lot easier. Is because yeah, because things are slowly getting back together. We're getting vaccinated. There is no vaccination at all in 2020. Once 2021 gets, you know, comes here, and that's why everybody. I say that a number of people like 2021 is because they get vaccinated, so they can just go back to work and do, you know, regular activities and stuff. And job rates are probably increasing now, right? Obviously, it's like, why getting a job is important. I don't need to tell you this. This is a common sense. You obviously need to pay your bills and stuff. Like, just imagine, you know, you go work for 1 year and see, you could have made a lot of money, right, in just 1 year. Even 1 month alone is still, you know, a lot of money. If I work for Amazon or whatever company that hired me, like, I could have made like lots of money. Talk about tons. Like, I don't know how much, but I say between like maybe 30 to, you know, 50K. That is a lot of money for 1 year. Yeah, that's one of the reasons. I mean, just 1 year worth of money, you know, could have helped me, you know, a lots and stuff. What would I do with the money? Like, I could go vacation, I could spend money, like I can do a lot of things, you know, I feel like in 1 year span. And how did I waste it, right? Now, you know, I just, you know, tend to act very stupid, right? To do a lot of stupid things and stuff. Like, that didn't happen obviously this year, but I talked about between 2020 and 2021. How did I squander so much, right? Obviously because, you know, I've been practicing running, and somehow, you know, I suddenly not get faster. You know, I've been struggling the whole year. It's obviously because I've been, you know, overtraining and stuff. I just run ridiculously fast, you know, to burn out my body. And yeah, I made a lot of mistakes as well, and I tend to have, you know, very unorganized time, and I just mostly spend all my time, you know, on social media and stuff. I mean, this is probably a year, you know, like where, you know, I just want to stop using Facebook or Messenger or just other stuff, except for YouTube. Maybe I can make YouTube active, you know, just, you know, update about my life and stuff. But yeah, I just get really upset about 2020. I just act up and talking, you know, shit about 2020. You know, constantly a measure when the things doesn't, you know, help my life to improve. I just waste my time and energy just for nothing. When things get crazy, or when the world gets crazy, I just keep getting upset about it. Or whenever I make mistake, or whenever things, you know, I get easily upset, and this is why, you know, I squander and I just act up and just do some, you know, very weird things that, you know, doesn't help me, you know, to get better. And also, you know, I've been running, you know, a lots of, you know, very long distance that I don't know, you know. I don't think pace is my problem. when it comes to running, longer distance, like 15 miles or 20 miles, I tend to go, bonk always when I run over 50 miles, and tell you why. Because I don't refill myself properly. It's like, why is refilling yourself so important when you run, marathon or, very long distances? Eventually, it's just like a car, right? You have, lots of energy in the tank, and eventually, it's just like you run out of gas. Same thing. If you run out of carbohydrate or calories in your body, then your body would slow down significantly or causing you to bonk and technically, force you to go, force you, to stop running. And this is what's been happening to me, for the past year. This is why I always struggle to run, 20 miles and, at a very, rapid pace. It's just not refilling properly. I mean, sorry, I have to, to go outside because obviously I just don't, because my mom is just, working back there, very close to my room, so I just don't want to hear her, talking to myself, to the camera. I'm just like the type of person, when I wear, my privacy, is it's feel uncomfortable, but it's all good. I just go back here and, record for you guys. Anyway, I was going back to saying, like, yeah, this is why I have not been on YouTube a lot lately, because I've been practicing running, running long distances, and I wanted to sub a 3-hour marathon. Like, why haven't you done that so soon? I mean, you sub a 5-minute mile, almost 2 years ago. I just have a lot of issues, when it comes to training or when it comes to, knowledge or stuff, right? I feel like I'm too inexperienced in, in running long distances, and it's just not using common sense. Like, I mean, for order me, to be very good, like, I have to study running. I have to train well. Training and being smart is very important, because if you don't have that in your mindset, then you're pretty much screwed and you're not going to be successful. I'm telling you, man, you have to stay positive. You have to always be smart. If you stay positive and be smart and say you do this, do that, and you do nothing about it, then you're just not going to accomplish things at the end of the day. I feel like, I go out. I mean, for the past year, I've been spending a lot of time, playing, video games, and also, talking shit on messengers and stuff. I mean, this is why I've been wasting a lot of time, I always, complain when things doesn't go my way, or when 2020 or, whatever, things, that pisses me off. I feel like I just wander off my time just doing that stuff, nonsense stuff, right? This is why I told you I suck, right? I tend, to act up very, I tend to act up very, stupid stuff, and whenever, people make negative opinion about me, I just, start acting up and talking, mad stuff. I start going crazy. I've been going really crazy, and I have really bad, attitude for the past year, and this is why, I've been wasting a lot of time in my life. Oh, what's the problem of me running 50 miles? Like I told you, like, I just didn't feel properly, right? I thought that, I can just run, but eventually, when you run a lot, you burn a lot of carbohydrate in your body. I didn't have enough carbohydrate in my body, that's why I tend to go bong, and when I keep pushing myself to run like hard for another 2 miles, then I totally, cramped up and totally like passed out. I didn't pass out, but I couldn't like walk. And this happened to me twice already. In 2020, no, not twice, like multiple times. I just, even in 2018, like, I didn't know like why running a 10-minute mile pace is so hard for 15 miles. I don't know why. I don't know why, I couldn't, run 20 miles. It's because I'm out of fuel in my body. Every time I get to like over 10 miles, or even 13, as little as 13 miles, then, I tend to go bonk. And why running a lot of miles, like in the race pace is hurting my body. Yeah, because when it starts burning up, it burns up your muscle. You have too much lactic acid. You produce a lot of lactic acid, and it's, tearing down my bodies and stuff, but yeah, this is a huge mistake, and when my body gets deteriorated, I will not be able to run as strong as I used to be, and it takes a lot of time to rebuild those muscle cells, those muscle that makes you really run fast stuff. And that tends to be why I wasted 1 year. Obviously, if you're in the overtraining stage and stuff, then you're not gonna hit your maximum form. You won't beat your record, I guarantee you, probably for a few months or even a year. And this is what happened to me. There are some distance that I haven't PR ever since 2020, and I'm in 2022, so that's almost 2 years, but I could have braked it in 2021, right? Let me give you, for example, if you don't know what I'm talking about. So let's flash back to December 2020. So December 2020, I tried to break 140 minutes for a 20-mile run, running at 6:59 pace for 20 miles. And by mile 18, like, I totally collapsed and I didn't know what's wrong. So I ran 10 miles straight. Obviously I just had to get ready, refill myself and stuff, and everything just went good. I felt very good, like I can like run for a lot longer. I went I run the 10th mile in 68 minutes. That's really fast. That's like a sub 3-hour marathon right there for 10 miles. And obviously by mile 15 my pace has dropped down to 7:30 because I didn't refill properly. I thought that I can just run for a very long time, even though I have lots of energy in my body. In around mile 10, I just didn't know the carbohydrate. I just didn't know, like, I was my pace is good for a long distance, but I just didn't refill myself properly. My body has to take extra calories from somewhere, but not outside my body, but it has to be inside my body. And obviously now my body is start slowly slowing down because it's running out of fuel in my body. And obviously now it's probably using muscle or using as an energy, because I'm running out of glycogen, carbohydrate, and this is why I go bonk so bad. This is why I overtrain, and this is why I couldn't run at my best for like almost a year now, causing 2021 to struggle. I just want to run fast or long distance because obviously I just try and break my goal, and I still plan to somehow to try to run the 6:50 pace for the sub 3 hour for a marathon. I try not to act stupid and show people that I'm tough and strong, and yeah, this is why I tend to act very stupid and cocky too. Show people like I can do this, I can do that. But when my stupidity, but I didn't study too much about long distance. I didn't know like the refilling is very important. I just refill myself with just Gatorade water, and that's it. I can just run a marathon just fine. But no, man, that just wasn't the case. And so, and that's how I burn my body. And yeah, when you continue to run, with very low carbohydrate and glycogen, you try to run at your pace, like a sub 7-minute mile pace, like it's gonna be very hard. You can even run an 8-minute mile pace and you're already struggling, even though you're like my fitness, right? You can just do that. There are some people where they have to like walk to the finish line, obviously, because their body's not tired. It's just that they're out of glycogen. Like there's just nothing to burn inside the body. There's just like no calories and stuff. What happened when people ran out of calorie? Yeah, that I already told you, right? It sucks. And then 2021, so how do you run long for a marathon? Let me give you a quick tip. Since you watch the video, I don't care if you like or you comment or you dislike the video or you like the video. You obviously have to use the running gel, right? What is the running gel? And you have to restore yourself. I mean, if you run like 10 miles, then you obviously have to refill yourself. Just drink water or Gatorade. But if you're running like 20 miles or plus, then you have to you need a lot of electrolyte. You need to eat properly. That's why I didn't do. You need to eat properly. You need to refill yourself properly. I encourage that. I see like a lot of runners use electrolyte, you know. This is why they don't go bonk. This is why they can run like even 30 miles just fine. I just didn't know about that. If I would have knew that, I would have I would have done a lot of running achievement back in 2020. Like it shouldn't even go to 2021 or even 2022. It should not even go to this year. But it is what it is, man. I could have used the time that I wasted, you know, instead of, you know, blah about nonsense or playing, you know, game or doing whatever things unnecessary, or, you know, all the waste time I think all the waste time that I wasted in the past, I could have just done it for that, right? I could have just spent time, you know, studying, you know my mistake and stuff. Yeah, and in 2021, yeah. So obviously, what is a running gel and what is it? It's obviously, you know, a gel, you know, that has it's a very thick, you know, liquid, nutrient, you know, that refills you during your run. Yeah, you have to take it, you know, like 30 minutes into your run stuff, or, you know, a few miles, so that way, you know, you don't go bonk, you know, right away. And you can last a little longer, and it can help you, you know, to like run a little longer, you know, where you need to be. Or if you're trying to run, you know, Ironman or, you know, 26 miles marathon, right? It's just something, you know, you just have to be, you know, aware of, right? 2021, you know, I still run 20 miles, you know, barely under 40 minutes. I should have easily went under 140 minutes for 20-mile run if my refueling is wrong. I didn't make the same mistake as last year, but I obviously took the gel, you know, when I run and I, you know, drink water and stuff, but I still make a mistake. See that, man? I don't watch professional runners. How can they run, you know, very fast for a long time? I don't even watch it carefully. I don't even pay attention, and that's why I still end up going bonk, and I just can't walk home. I should be able to walk and just jog fine, but after 20 miles of running, you know, last year in 2021, where I finally went 20 miles, you know, under 7-minute mile pace, I was dead. I was dead tired. Like I couldn't even walk. I couldn't even like move. I have to. Yeah, my leg was so tired. Like I totally bunk. Like for me to move, I have to use my hand like this. Yeah, this is why I go outside. Trying to show you like my circumstance. So remember, I couldn't move it, and I have to push myself all the way, you know, all the way to the car, and just drove home with a very bad leg. And, you know, everything just went fine. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, how do you take gels in the run? Obviously, if you take like 5 or 6 gels during your run, like, you can still go bonk. Like, okay, why can you still go bonk during, you know, marathon or even a 20-mile ride? Because I didn't take water in, and obviously my body is not used, you know, to taking like gel stuff. I know that it's hard to process, you know, like calories and food, you know, during your run. I know it's hard for the stomach to do that. You just imagine you run like this and you're taking gel. Just because you take a gel, that doesn't mean that you can run extra like 2 miles, 2 more miles than you know expected. You can still go on. Like this is, I'm not talking nonsense, but the thing is, your stomach's gonna have a hard time processing, you know, these gels, right? It has a hard time. Yeah, because you're running up and down, so it might bounce it up, so it's hard, you know, to digest. I mean, if you take water, it'll be like much easier. I just want a good time, you know. That's another thing. Like, I don't like drinking too much water, you know, during the run, because obviously, you know, I have to directly slow down and drink at the same time. Yeah, I'm just not good at that, you know, taking in water, you know, while I run. I just want a good time, so I just, you know, eat the gel stuff. Whenever I try to, you know, refill myself, I technically slow down and, you know, my pace, and so it hurts my pace and I slow down stuff. But I feel like I should have taken water, so that way, you know, it makes it easier, you know, to digest, you know, the gels and stuff, you know, when it comes to running. So yeah, I mean, that was my mistake. And also, you know, I have very unorganized time. What do you mean unorganized time? I just didn't organize, my time correctly. This is why I also waste a lot of time, during this decade. if I organize my time, if I was a little bit, if I planned a little bit better, and if I organize time much better, then obviously I can do a lot more things, and I could have been, very independent, right? I just heard that, like once, I move out, the old house in 2020, I feel like, I should become, more independent because my parents getting older and nobody's gonna support me forever. I feel like, lots of wasted time, that I wasted for nothing. I feel like I can like learn how to cook, learn how to, become independent, learn how to do this and that. There's a lot more things, like I can just learn, when I just wasted those time. Obviously, if a lot of people, cannot think of what they should do, or if they don't have a plan, or that's me, or if they don't know what to do and stuff, or if they're just not thinking about their future, too much, then obviously they're gonna squander a lot of time, or just waste for a lot of time, just for nothing, right? I feel like, like I also, tend not to run faster anymore. I tell you what's the reason is because I don't do other exercise. I just do running alone. Well, just run like every day doesn't make you faster too. That's why I don't see my running improvement. It's obviously because I don't do other exercises, or stretches, that necessarily help me to run faster too. So yeah, I feel like, I could do a lot more goals in life. I mean, I still have a long way to go. I'm like very young and stuff. I feel like if I had an extra year, and if I make more money, and whether, I can make more goals, I feel like there's a lot more things out there, a lot more challenges out there that I can possibly do, just to make myself feel proud and stuff. And whenever I do all those little challenges, and a lot more people seem to like the video and stuff, I feel like I should record myself, doing, I plan to do like more new challenges. I don't stick to running, every day now, because I know that doing the same thing over and over again, is boring and stuff like that, right? So you just have to make more new goals and just come up with it and just do it right away. Yeah, sometimes, my planning is kind of bad sometimes. So this is why, I wasted time, right? Yeah, running a lot of miles is kind of like dangerous, because obviously I could have injured myself. I mean, the day that I couldn't walk, after running, for 20 miles, I thought like I injured my leg, but I think I almost injured myself, and I almost, probably almost went to, to emergency and stuff. It's like very, dangerous. I feel like, yeah, if you, I mean, if you injure yourself, that means you cannot play sport for months or even year, and you're gonna waste a lot of year, just sitting, and doing absolutely nothing, and then somehow you have to rebuild that fitness again, and then it takes another time. Yeah, this is how you lose a lot of time, when you're trying to get stronger and you're running or doing your other exercises, right? I mean, injury is way worse than overtraining, but I have not get severely injured yet, which is a very good news. Yeah, man. But I think I gotta tell you the real, reason, like why wasting a year of my life, is pretty much, a good thing at the same time. So it's obviously just a learning experience, right? It's just for me to learn, and a good life learning lesson. This is good for me. This is good for you guys. I know that I have trouble communicating, and trouble talking, and talking, to people. I feel like, if I socialize or hang out with friends better, then I obviously will socialize and communicate better. That's another thing, I could do. Just a lot of things I can do, better. That way I don't ever suck in life. And I know that we're just 1 week into 2022. Yeah, time is gonna go really fast. It's gonna be 2023 very soon, even though we're 51 weeks away from, the new year again. I feel like I just want to accomplish things early so I can, like, enjoy my life and, come up with more goals to accomplish and make myself even better every day. It's just no time to waste or no time to think you're a loser. None of that, right? Just have to be smart about it, man. Just have to be smart. Or sometimes you can just comment below, like, just make up a goal for me. That will help, I know there's some nice people, out there, always out there, try to be helpful. They give me good tips and stuff. Sometimes when they give you good tips, you should definitely take it, so that way, you learn something new and you will get better eventually, right? There's just a lot of interesting, things that I can do out there. I can do a lot of interesting things, with a lot of time left, while I don't waste it anymore. And a lot of things, that I can explore. Yeah, this is why, I'm gonna quit, like using, social media and stuff. Like I already told you. Like, it just sometimes wastes a lot of time. Like, I feel like I'm just, better off, to do something else better. Yeah, I just, have to move on, stuff. So yeah, that's one thing that bothers me on social media. People, unfriending me or blocking me, on social media. I'm like, screw it, right? Just screw it, man. If people block me, I don't care. I can just, delete my account or just, stop using social media, or no more, using this, no more using that, no more using Facebook, no more using Instagram. I even quit Snapchat, 2 years ago, right? Yeah, I remember I used Snapchat a lot, but then I stopped using it around, 2020 because it's not worth my time anymore, and I just don't like, posting, and people, just a lot of people just didn't get along with me. I just don't get along with people. I mean, I can still have, very low number of friends, and I can just still be, very successful, doing a lot of things that I'm capable of doing, right? If I put my heart and soul to it. I told you, man. The world you live in, nothing's impossible. Just think of it. Nothing is impossible. Yeah, and once you break your goal, like, you gain motivation, right? You gained it. And I'm telling you that subbing a 3-hour marathon for me, it's probably not gonna be, it's still gonna be difficult, but it shouldn't be that difficult anymore since I ran a 4:59 mile pace for 1 mile. But I just have to learn how to hold the pace. That's the thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm running like almost 2 minutes though per mile, and I can do it constantly, 26 miles. I can just do that. It could happen, late 2020 or even, sometime in 2021. Just like, Nick Bear. So I'm gonna have to end off this video up here. I plan to sub 3, using my watch in 2022. That's gonna be my goal. Playing for a marathon. I'm becoming much better long distance running, and